Just trying to get a little organization in my life. Anybody having some coffee? Coffee at 6 o'clock at night? Probably a bad idea, but I'm full of bad ideas. All right. So I'm just trying to organize some stuff here. Getting some of my sharpening supplies together and my belts together, my sanding, my sandpaper organized. It all kind of got thrown in a box when I moved, and it's a mess. We got 80 grit in here with who knows what other grits, and so I'm gonna try to get all this stuff organized. I figured might just go live and bore you guys with the details. So it's been a typical Monday, which it's kind of funny, you know, Mondays get such a bad rap. But it always seems like, should I start at the lowest grit on the bottom and work my way up? I think I'll put lowest grit. We're going to go with 80 grit up here. Mondays get a bad rap, but you know, sometimes when you're getting back into the swing of things. Oh, hey, this is 60 grit. 60, 60, 60. Okay, then. I guess we'll go 80 grit the next one down. This is all 80 grit. For those of you who don't know, this, good at making a mess. Rhino wet sheets in Dasha, Indicia, whatever. This is the stuff. This is what you want. This is some good stuff. It's not cheap, but it works really, really well. Worth the money. 220, 120, 1,000, 600. What are these here? These look like some coarse ones. Here's some more 60. I like to have plenty of abrasive on hand. Nothing worse than needing a grit and not having it. So what are you guys up to? Obviously watching me. But how's your week started? Okay, so we got 60, 80, I think 120. Get here. Don't laugh at my penmanship. 60, 80, 120. Might need to get some more containers. So I've got 220. Trying to decide if I'm going to. I pulled power into the shop. I pulled my power into my shop pad yesterday. Speaking of which, I gotta go terminate that. 1,000 grit. Trying to get the block laid for my foundation. And gonna try to get started on the floor of the shop here real soon. 320, 320, 400. I'm not going to have enough slots here. So some of these finer grits are going to all have to go together, which a lot of these finer grits are thinner. So no big deal. Get those taken care of. So yeah, I got my electricity pulled out to the pad. Started laying some more block. I was going to some of your sandpaper. Yeah. Oh, thanks. That's my wife. So got power pulled out to the pad. Started laying out some blocks. I need to cut some blocks. I was going to put some blocks down on the pad, but we're supposed to get rain tonight, and you really want your mortar to have 12 hours of cure time. I figured by the time I got block laid, I didn't decide to lay any today. So instead, I've been dealing with a website not working, and I got my orders out today. Had quite a few knives to get out today. So I'm fixing to sharpen some more knives because don't have any ready to ship, and I like to keep them ready to ship so that when orders come in, I don't have to stop what I'm doing to get knives out. And that's what my Monday's been like. So got my, hey, will you, Nay, throw this away, please. I need a trash can, Judah. Here's some graphite pads for my sharpening. Just throw it down there. This here is a new diamond stone that I'm going to be putting a video up shortly on. Double-sided diamond stone. Really like that. We got some of my these are the Shapton ceramic. Got my Shapton stones here. I've got these Nanawa sharpening stones. Got a set of these. We'll be doing some videos on. Then I've got my belt. I've got a buffer over here I need to get mounted. We'll see. Oh, hold on. Don't go nowhere. I've got this. I need to get this out and set up. Brand new. Twice as sharp. This is for sharpening scissors and stuff, which I don't know. I've never used one of these machines before, but I figured I'd give it a whirl. It looks like it's got quite the stuff to put together. I got these stands, and I might see if it's going to mount on here. Not sure. Not sure that it's going to without me drilling some holes. So I might just go ahead and, I guess you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Anyways, I got this stand here. I bought a couple of these stands to, I'm going to mount my ball door grinder. I mounted a bench grinder. I thought about mounting this on here, but I'm probably going to end up just putting this on a bench top and we'll go from there. So twice as sharp. That's what we're going to work on. Guys got any questions? What grit is this? 220? This is going to be the fun one. Hey, Judah. Might have to mount it this way. Go get me that Milwaukee step bit. The set. It's got the 3 different step bits. This stand is almost too small to mount this on. And let's see if we can't get this mounted. She's dusty. I've lost one of my aluminum plates, so I don't know. Hopefully it will come up, but I might have to order a new one. Let's get that about centered up. Tape measure. This ball door buffer is a 3600 RPM buffer. I really like it, but you have to be extremely careful because it will rip a knife out of your hand super fast. One time I was buffing a knife. I've heard some horror stories about buffers. One of which is my mentor, Bill Davis, said he knew a knife maker that was buffing a knife, and the buffer threw the knife, grabbed the knife and threw it. Well, when it did, it cut the guy's femur artery. If you don't know, when you cut your femur, you literally have seconds to live. And this guy, it's an unbelievable story. This guy reached down and pinched off his artery. I'm not sure exactly with what or how, but he pinched that artery off and started hollering for help. And fortunately, there was a neighbor who heard him screaming because he was able to get him help. and the guy lived. But these buffers are extremely dangerous because they can easily grab a knife and throw it out of your hand. And so I've always had that in the back of my mind when I'm buffing a knife, like, don't mess around, pay attention, be safe. And I was buffing a knife on this buffer one day, and it grabbed the knife, and I had a death grip on it, and the knife went like around the wheel once or twice, and then like flung up, and I managed to keep a hold of the knife, but it got the blood pumping pretty good, pretty good. It's incredible how quickly something like that can happen. I was working on a disc grinder of all things one day, and a disc grinder is just a flat disc that spins around and around. And I didn't think it was that dangerous, but I'm sitting there, the disc is still running, and I don't remember what I was doing. I talked to somebody or did something, and I had a knife in my hand, and the next thing I know, that knife was ripped out of my hand and threw down into the ground, hit the ground, and was ringing. And I was like, how in the world just did that happen? What just happened? And I looked down at my disc, and there's a piece of sandpaper sticking off. And I don't know why, but sometimes when you see something like that, your first thought is, to touch it. And so I thought about like touching the sandpaper that was sticking off. And I'm like, that wouldn't be too smart. So I shut the disc off, and it slowed down. And what had happened was I must have got the tip of that knife into the disc, and it sunk down into the disc and just ripped that knife out of my hand, and it curled a piece of aluminum of the disc up. So it wasn't just sandpaper that was sticking out. It was a stabby piece of aluminum. So if I would have stuck my finger, if I would have touched it, that would not have been good. So you got to really respect power tools when you're working around them. Be careful. It's amazing how quickly something can go sideways and get bad. Just give me a 1/4-inch drill bit or something. I'll just. I don't know where that.
Here's a 1/4.
It's probably sitting right over here by me. What did you guys pack away in this Milwaukee bag?
Here's a 1/4-inch drill bit too.
Where'd you get that?
1/4-inch set.
Out of my drill or out of my set?
Out of your set.
This is just a bunch of junk you guys threw in here. All right. I need a drill. Is this a... Are you sure this is a 1/4, son? Looks more like an F bit.
That's what it says.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you because I can't see it.
Here's 100% a 1/4.
100% a 1/4. Is that like 0.25? 100% 1/4. I need my reading glasses. I really don't want to mount this on here like that. I really want it mounted like this. Let me see that tape measure. It's crazy to me. This spacing. 8 inches wide that way. It's 8.5. Another 1/2 inch wide, front to back. Whole spacing is about 7 1/4. 7 1/4. This whole spacing is about 7 almost 7 5/8. 7.5. Do I try to force it this way? You know what? I think we're just going to cut a piece of plywood. because I don't want the legs. I don't know. Let me look at this again. If it's like this, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, we could do it this way. What she said, some of your sandpaper. 22 inches. 22 by 19. So it's 3 inches wider the other way. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Let's get some marks here. What do we got for bolts? I don't know. Is that bag of bolts? Let me see that. I think those are all larger bolts underneath that stand.
There's some longer ones.
Ah, they don't fit. So I was talking to my buddy Kyle about this because he's got the same ball door buffer on this stand, and I asked him how he bolted it down, if he used smaller bolts or if he drilled this out. And he said that he used smaller bolts. And I says, well, I might just ream it out. He's like, well, he wouldn't do that because whatever. I'm like, well, I might just drill it out. I might break something too, but we'll see. Because this base is probably cast iron. But I'm not scared. All right, let's see. Get this down. Dun, 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 dun. Tape measure. Let me have some of that 3-in-1 oil, please, or that rapid tap. 7. 1/7 3/16. 7 1/8. Close enough. There should be on that drill press over there, or oil.
Fire on the drill press.
Oil, rapid tap, 3-in-1, something. Paper towel. I'll use this 3-in-1, that's fine. So, yep, you want to be careful when you're using equipment like buffers and grinders. Looking forward to getting my new shop built, but for now I got to get some work done, so Gonna work here for now. Right on the corner of that metal brake. Let you see what I'm doing more. Bonk. Try to find that reamer, or try to find some smaller bolts. If you've never drilled holes before in metal, you want to go slow, and then right before you get through the metal, you'll feel the drill bit, you know, sinking in. And the minute you feel it start to sink in like that, you want to let the pressure off, because otherwise you'll it's easy to get the bit stuck and or break your bit or whatever. As long as you're seeing chips come up and what are you guys doing? Huh?
Whoops.
You're shutting off my lights.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
You need a headlamp?
I got it.
Are you gonna go milk?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there was something I needed up there when you go milk, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, I want you to take a drill and get my vise off that workbench out of the shipping container. The red vise. It's a T. It's probably a T25 or something like that. I want you to bring that vise back down with you. Gonna get my quench plates mounted tonight, hopefully. Get it all set up. I think I actually hit the leg on this one. There we go. Uno mas. There we go. All right. Now, let's see if I can find any bolts. This is kind of, let's see. All righty. That might actually work. I don't remember which way I had this. I think I had it this way. Problem is these are carriage bolts or whatever. So they don't have, these are half-inch or quarter-inch. No, I shouldn't have done that. 1/4 by 20. What are you doing? What are you looking for? You need this drill, Malachi? Or you need an impact? They're probably upstairs. I don't really want to use those. Have a million bolts, but never the right size. Got a bunch of bolts, but never the right size. All right. This will work for now. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Judah, I need a wrench that will fit these nuts. These bolts are a little long, but they're what I have for now. Probably go get some different bolts. Don't want to leave this. Don't want to leave it where it might get knocked over though. Judah, yeah, we need to find my Milwaukee set. I really like these Baldor motors and the buffers. They're very industrial type, very smooth, very quiet. I've had this buffer for probably 10 years or better, and they just work. They work good. Ugh. The threads on this bolt are messed up or something. There we go. Another tip for you. When you're threading on a nut, if you can't get it more than a 1/2 turn or 1/4 turn or something like that, you probably have it cross threaded. Before you go start wrenching on a nut, you want to make sure that you get, at least a couple full threads to make sure that you have it cross threaded your nuts. All right. The ground's pretty uneven here. I'm gonna grab a buffing wheel. maybe. I know where they're at. Fire this thing up. Be right back. What?
Here's an old felt belt. Felt reel.
Yeah. I was looking for like a yellow.
The long.
This one needs a, yeah, that's not gonna work. It needs a shim. I think I got a wheel right here. Look what I found. More belts to put away. I have a few belts. Judah, look down in that box over there. Hey, look, a few more belts to put away. I have a few sanding belts. What's going on? Is there any of those yellow belts?
I seen one around here. I don't remember where I seen it.
Oh well. I can't find any of my buffing. Oh, look underneath that table with the grinders. Hand me that extension cord over here. This one here. All right. So it's been a little while. Pretty smooth. 3,600 RPMs. Need to clean the rust off of it. So anyways, I'm going to keep working, organizing. I just figured I'd hop on here and say hi to you guys tonight. Sorry, it's not the most entertaining, but I'm going to try to get on here and get live a little more. And as much as you guys want to have any questions for me, feel free to ask away. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Love you, Goop.